If you've been to a professional baseball game in Japan or you've seen one on TV, then it's pretty hard to not hear all the different songs that the fans cheer for certain players. Thankfully, one of the cool things you can do in Professional Baseball Spirits 2024-2025 is actually edit and create these cheer songs. If you want to edit or create a new cheer, then all you need to do is go to the settings and then the very top right option. On this screen you're going to see a load of empty blank spaces underneath, and then there's 3 buttons at the top, which is OK, Export and Import. I'll go over importing and exporting later, but for now if you just want to create a song, then just choose any of the blank spaces below. The next screen is the edit screen. Along the top you've got different options. First is return, which will just take you back to the last menu. Next is save, which just allows you to save and name your songs. The next 2 buttons kind of do the same thing, but they are slightly different from each other. The first allows you to choose from a variety of different sort of trial songs. If you select one of these, it will just put a song underneath based on the style that you've chosen. This can be an easy way just to get started. The next button, however, is the sample button. While it's technically the same as the last button, this one actually has different sample songs already pre-made that you can select between. So say for example you want Vampire Killer from Castlevania, you can select it from here and it'll actually just already have the song pre-made for you. There's quite a wide selection here, so it's also worth just playing around and listening to a few of them. You might surprise yourself with the ones you actually recognise. After this you have the copy button. Pressing it does exactly what it sounds like. It allows you to select a part of your edit already and then copy it to another place. After that you have the clear button, which will just remove everything on the screen. Next is the help button, which will explain all the controls. After help is the part button. While you're technically looking at one screen, there's actually 2 layers you can edit on. You're not able to put multiple notes in the same place for different keys. So doing this allows you to put those notes where you want to on the second layer. This means you can make some quite complicated songs. The second to last button allows you to swap between the notes playing in a 4/4 rhythm or as triplets. And finally along the top is the tempo button. Here you can choose between different tempos, but you can also put in your own custom one as well. When editing, I tend to edit at a slower tempo because it's easier to hear the notes and also figure out if I've made any mistakes. Then when you're happy with it, you can always increase it to the tempo you want it played back at. Underneath all the main buttons, then you have the actual edit screen. At the top you have the tempo and the playback settings. The tempo bar allows you to change the tempo mid-cheer. So for example, if you want the song to start off fast, then you can put it at a faster tempo, and then say later on this bit you would like slower, then you can click into here and choose a slower tempo. Underneath that is the playback options. This allows you to place where you'd like the cheer to loop from, or if you wouldn't like it to loop whatsoever. Underneath that you then have a small keyboard which will show you the notes. Underneath that is options for percussions, and then the final option is for crowd cheering. Now all you need to start doing is placing notes. Select which note you'd like to play based on the key and then just press X. If you'd like to extend the note, when you press X, keep it held down and then press left or right to increase it or decrease it. If you put some notes too close together and you don't want them there, then you can always press square on the note you want moved. It will shift it one space to the right. And if you don't want a note or you need to remove a gap, then you can always press circle instead. If you want to hear what you've currently made, then press the touchpad button. This will give you 2 options. The top one being it will play the current bar. The second one will play the entire song. If you're unsure what to create or you just need a bit of help, then have a look on YouTube for some easy piano tutorials. I was unsure what to use as an example for this, so I did a quick YouTube search, and after watching the piano tutorial, this is what I managed to come up with. You can always add drums and other noises to the song as well. Click the top option underneath any of the bars and you'll be greeted with a selection of different beats. The same goes with some cheers. If you select the bottom option, there's a whole host of cheers you can select from. While it might seem like a simple editor, you can actually make some pretty clever songs here. Here's a couple of testers that I managed to whip up in a few minutes. Once you're happy with everything, then you can go ahead and hit the save button. Give your cheer whichever name you want and then just hit OK with the touchpad. Back on the main cheer menu, there is the other 2 options I mentioned. You can actually import Cheers songs you've managed to download from the internet while also exporting your own. If you have managed to download some from the internet, then you just need a USB stick. So the PlayStation 5 will recognise it, you'll need to format it by exFAT. If you don't know how to do that, it's real simple. Just right click on your memory stick, click format, and then underneath the drop down for the format options, just make sure it's highlighted and says exFAT. Click OK and you'll be good to go then. Then in the root of the memory stick, just create a new folder and call it Prosby. Here's where you'll need to put any of the files you want to import. Then plug your USB stick into your PlayStation, hit the import button, and then it will ask you which songs you want to import. If you'd like to export, then just make sure that you've already got a Prosby folder on the USB stick, and then select whichever songs you'd like to export and hit OK as well. To set these up so they can be used, there's two ways you can go about it. The main one is using the team edit page. Once you choose your team, go to the second option from the bottom. If you're in star player mode, then you need to go to the second option underneath settings, then go to the fifth option, the one that's just above com, and then the one at the very bottom of this selection. Both of these options will bring you to the same screen. This will come with 4 options, which allows you to choose from walk-up music, at-bat music, chance music, and just general team music. The walk-up music is pretty obvious, it allows you to choose a cheer while the players walk into the box. For the at-bat option, you actually get 2 selections. You have one which is just a regular cheer, and then you have one that will take the priority over anything else. So say for example you set some other cheers in some of the later menus, this one will always take priority over it. Simply select whichever player you want to edit and then choose which cheer you'd like to use. Next is the chance options. You can set 3 different conditional cheer sets here. Put in the cheers you'd like to use, and then if you highlight either the white 1, 2 or 3, you can then access the options at the bottom. The top option determines whether the cheer is played at home, away or at both. The next option down allows you to choose whether the cheer is played at every single stadium or just specific stadiums. The next option allows you to choose when in the inning that it plays. The bottom option allows you to choose a specific situation, so it could be something like a chance at tying the game to something like getting the final out. The last option allows you to choose songs played at specific moments in the game. Going from the left top to bottom, it goes on base, then home run, and then out. Top right will then be before the game, when you score a run, and then the final one is if you win. For me personally, it's a genius concept to have in a game, being able to make your own cheers. Whether it's recreating real life players' songs that I've heard at Jingu Stadium myself, or whether it's just making another JoJo song, I never get tired of doing this. And especially in star player mode, it's always fun to try and make a song for your actual player. My star player currently is Kudo Shinichi, and it's been incredibly funny to hear the Detective Conan main theme play it every time he's walked up to bat. But that's it really, like I said, there's quite a lot to do here, so you can always just have a play around. There used to be a few websites that you can actually download the songs from, and unfortunately once again I've not been able to find them. But I'm sure with the way that the popularity of this game is going, people are going to stop uploading their own. Generally songs aren't too hard to make as long as they're not too complicated, so always give it a go yourself, but if there is something you do want, drop a comment below and I'll see what I can do. Anyways, that's it from me. I hope this has been a helpful tutorial, enjoy the game, and I'll catch you on the next one.